Hey man,
Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm okay. I hope I've cheered you up a little bit over what's up.
Yeah, very eventful week of cricket, eh? There's been a lot of ups and downs.
You don't say, you don't say. Okay, before we get to the ups and downs, just give me a quick thoughts on Kohli giving up the captaincy for the world for the T20s and for the IPL T20s after this tournament.
Look, some people might think it's a bit of a controversial decision, but I feel deep down it's probably the right call. He wants to focus on his game,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
leading up towards towards the latter stages of his career. So maybe some players actually thrive on captaincy, some don't. I
Hmm.
think Kohli falls in that category where it seems like the captaincy gets the better of him sometimes. So
Hmm.
it needs to come naturally. So look, there is some positive that can be taken out of this. Probably he can, just focus on himself being a player.
Hmm. Yeah.
And, he's good enough to just be a player. So
Yeah.
it's going to be who takes over the captaincy because
Yeah.
with the franchise, there doesn't seem to be too many candidates at the moment in that regards. Because
Yeah.
RCB, I would say, there is a few obviously experienced heads there, but there's also quite a bit of inexperience as well,
Hmm.
which uh, they obviously have to take into account as well. So
Yeah.
uh, I think he probably believes he either hasn't given himself. He obviously hasn't done his best as captain, so
Yeah.
that is why he just wants to focus on his
Yeah.
game and probably just contribute in that regards. But
Yeah.
I personally think it's the right call for him to make at the moment,
Yeah.
giving up the
Yeah.
captaincy.
If I were him, I would have given up the T20 and the 50 over captaincy and given it to, and then I would hope that someone like Rohit Sharma gets picked. That's my just final take on that.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's good to have different captains for different formats. And
Mm.
look, he's done well in test matches,
Yeah, so you just
but
leave it to
obviously
that.
there are there are tougher assignments for him to come. But I think he's done quite well so
Mm.
far in
Yeah.
test matches. So I think letting go of the T20 captaincy is not a bad idea. And like you said,
Yeah.
50 overs as well. It's not a bad it's not a bad thing to have a captain that's a white ball and then you have a red ball captain. I think it obviously takes the pressure away from one skipper that actually has to oversee
Mm.
all three formats, and it's difficult these days for
Mm.
one skipper to
Mm.
oversee all three formats. But,
Yeah.
in the RCB sort of setup, I think it's a good decision for him to relinquish the captaincy.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get down to the ups and downs. The first match, Chennai versus Mumbai, definitely did have ups and downs. I was a bit upset with this. I felt Mumbai should have won this. You have a team at 20 for 4 and then you just throw it away. But I'll get to the one that was even more disappointing, but let's just get to your quick thoughts of this one.
Uh, to be honest with you, Mumbai looked a bit. I think they looked a bit scratchy. It seemed like a team that especially with the bat. They didn't seem like a team that played cricket for a long period together. So they seemed
Mm.
a bit they seemed a bit rusty with the bat, and that actually
Mm.
cost them the game. They started
Yeah,
off very, but it's not how you start; it's how you finish at the end of the
yeah,
day. And I think
yeah,
this IPL. Look, it obviously came to a halt in May, and it obviously benefited some teams
yeah,
and it didn't benefit others.
yeah.
And there are teams that were in with a lot of momentum, that sort of
Hmm.
seemingly lost that momentum.
Hmm.
And see, Mumbai, one of those teams. I mean, they didn't really have a very good, uh, first half, but I think they were
Yeah.
getting it together. And then the break
Hmm.
came, and then obviously
Hmm.
they lost their momentum up there.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, they're not the only side that's struggling at the moment to find that
Yeah.
consistency again, that momentum again. Uh, Look, it was back to the drawing board for them,
Yeah.
and they still can't seem to get that sort of consistency back.
Yeah. All right. So we'll get to the next one. I know this one will hurt you a bit, so do bear with me. Your team against my team, RCB KKR. This was, I don't want to rub it in, but this is quite a mauling by 9 wickets. I think this is probably KKR's best performance, I think, this year of the IPL. I think the second half, you could say part two, has probably benefited them so far.
This is a total mauling. This really was a total mauling. I think
Yeah.
um, RCB, when you talk about rustiness, this team really, really looked rusty with bat and with ball. I mean, there was just no sort of partnerships in that innings. That the innings really never got going at all. 92 all out, and I think MI and RCB are one of those teams that are battling for consistency at the moment. They just can't seem to get it together at all in the second half.
Yeah.
I don't think it's down to the pitches. Probably it is. Maybe the pitches in India really suited RCB's game.
Hmm.
Uh, let's be honest.
Could be.
I think
Could be,
they
yeah.
haven't really been up to sketch here. But I mean, I give credit to KKR. They bowled really well in this game. But they RCB were just not in that sort of frame of mind where they actually could compete in this game. They just fell back into their shell, and I mean, 92 all out. I mean, even if they batted those 20 overs out, they wouldn't have made anything substantial. So that the
Yeah.
innings never really got going,
Yeah.
and comfortable win for KKR in the end.
Yeah, but I think to your team's credit, because they had such a great first half of the IPL, even if they win 3 matches, I would assume they should qualify. Because with due respect to Punjab, Sunrisers, even Rajasthan Royals, I mean, they should really qualify. But we'll get to that toward the end. Okay, the next one is, speaking of Punjab, and now Rajasthan Royals, man, this was the choke of the IPL, probably the choke of all time. How the hell do you lose from 8 runs of 12 balls with 8 wickets? Yuck. I was like, I still can't get over it.
I think we've seen quite a few chokes in the IPL. I think Sunrisers also were guilty of that last season against Kings 11 when they were in cruise control and ended up losing that game. But I think it was fantastic bowling in that final over from
Yeah.
Rajasthan and Tyagi. I think
Yeah.
he really bowled excellent and sort of choked the stuffing out of Punjab in the end. There, it seems like they were the wrong batsmen were on strike at that point because you had
Hmm.
Markram the other end that was on 26, and he played quite well. And I think if Markram was on strike, they probably would have won that game. But if you look at that game and the partnership that they had,
Hmm.
and to a lot of teams' detriment. It's not really not how well you start. It's how you finish. So those middle overs are crucial. And if you lose a lot of wickets in those middle overs, it can come back to bite you. And look,
Hmm.
Kings 11, uh, Punjab Kings didn't lose many wickets, but they just lost momentum towards the
Hmm.
end, and what cost them the
Yeah.
game. They just lost momentum, and uh, the wrong players were on strike, and
Yeah.
that cost them the game.
But I still think 8 runs of 12 balls, 9 times out of 10, you should win that. So, anyway, let's get to Sunrisers and Daredevils. Daredevils are one team that's not lost momentum. I think they should be in the playoffs easily. Your thoughts?
to be honest, they've actually had a good sort of schedule compared to a lot of other teams. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better game to get your season back. I mean, against a struggling Sunrisers outfit that really has found a winning formula in this tournament. So,
Yeah.
no, that's as good a game that you can ask for to start off your proceedings. And yeah, they were quite clinical in this game, winning by 7 wickets.
I know 8 wickets. Sorry,
Sunrisers,
eight. I know the eight
they never
wickets.
got
8 wickets. Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
never got going. I mean, there were too many stop starts there. Nobody actually got to a substantial score. And I mean, geez, I mean, setting 130 odd is never going to be enough on these wickets. Never going to be enough in IPL cricket unless you really, really fall out of your skins, which
Yeah,
9 times out of doesn't really happen.
yeah.
So comfortable win for Delhi. And yeah, they're rating high, and I think they'll be happy with the sort of schedule they have the next couple of games as well. So yeah, things are looking good for them at the moment.
Yeah, the next match is two of the teams that I like, but obviously KKR is my favorite, Mumbai and KKR, and this was quite a bashing. I never would have expected this sort of performance, but I think the change of mindset and just playing with nothing to lose has really worked in KKR's favor here. 7 wickets. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this was quite a hammering from KKR, hey, on Mumbai, and notoriously against a side that they really don't play well against Mumbai, and they've lost many games against Mumbai in previous tournaments. So it was a
Hmm.
long time coming. This performance was a long time coming, and what an innings from Tripathi to get them over the line, and amazing stuff. And I've been impressed with the new guy as well up the order. I thought he's brought in some great aggression up the order, and it's something that KKR was lacking
Hmm.
for the competition. And it seems like the coaching staff have got it spot on by bringing in a new opener, and it's just galvanized the team in a way where, yeah, they seem to be attacking the power play much more aggressively. And I mean, chasing 157, and they did it quite easily in the end
Hmm.
by 7 wickets with almost 5 overs to spare, which is quite a hammering in T20 terms.
Hmm. Yeah, man. Okay, so we get to your team against Chennai. Chennai did win this by 6 wickets, but I felt that your team was short by, let's say, 24 runs minimum. I think your team should have made 180. They started really well. I was a bit disappointed by that score. Fine, I admit the pitch was a bit odd, but I think with a bit of common sense, 180 should have been made, and then you would have won the match.
Yeah, the irony of this game. Yeah, I mean, RCB started so well; they started like a house on fire. But uh, the middle overs were the real demons for RCB in this game. Yeah,
Yep,
I
yep.
just feel uh, Kohli, obviously he went out at the wrong time. If
Hmm.
there was another 3 or 4 overs of Kohli and Parikal, probably close to 170, 180. But I think there was a lot of misleading of the pitch as well, because at one stage I think they were targeting 200, where, like you said, 170, 180 would have been the score that you probably should have been
Hmm.
targeting. I think
Yeah, I
I think
mean,
us
if
as viewers
you,
and commentators as well, we got this pitch actually totally wrong. We really misread this pitch, because
yeah.
this pitch actually more difficult to bat on. And I feel once you in, you really make it a big one, because
Hmm.
batsmen that come in didn't really find it easy at all. And we saw that in the middle overs, it was difficult to get the ball away when the new batter came on, and yeah, the pitch was too pace, no doubt about it. And
Yeah.
if there was a bad bowl, it would have been hit out of the ground. But
Hmm.
with those change ups and things, it really, really became difficult. And
Yeah.
we really folded away in that second half. I'd say this game was lost in the last 5 overs.
Yeah.
Uh, if they really targeted the score of around 180, they probably would have had a good chance of staying in this game. I'm not saying they
Yeah.
would have won this game by no stretch of the
Yeah.
imagination, because I mean
Yeah.
T20 is very unpredictable. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think we've seen the best of AB in this second half. I think he's still finding his feet. I
Yeah,
feel I feel AB, that sort of situation is not set up for him in a way. I feel he needs more time. I think
yeah.
an AB coming in at the eighth or ninth
You could
over
have
is
brought
probably a
maybe
much
Maxwell or something. Yeah, they could have probably brought Maxwell at number three.
uh, my concern with Maxwell is there's a lot of fancy shots. Uh, I feel at times he doesn't put a price on his wicket.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he played well in the first half, but he seems to be falling away. Uh, Look, I think the one thing that really concerned me yesterday was the bowling in the second half. I think there were a lot of boundary balls. I
Mm.
think signing wasn't a good selection. He should have just stuck with Jameson. I mean, RCB has got 5 wins this season, and a lot of that has to be done with the way Jameson bowled in the first half of the season
Yeah.
with Harsha. I thought they were a big part with Siraj in getting those wins, and I think the selection of Hasaranga as well has been a bit puzzling, to be honest with you. I don't think
Yeah.
he's really on his feet.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he offers to this team, to be honest with you. I mean, because if he's not
Yeah.
giving us those quick runs down the order, he should be a wicket taker, genuine wicket taker, but he's not offering that as well. So
Yeah.
I feel a bit of a passenger in the team at the moment, and I think yeah, this team looks a bit unsettled at the moment. I just worry about that there seems to be so many chopping and changing right now when
Yeah.
you should work with a team that actually did well with you. I mean, did well for you in that first half of the competition. There
Yeah.
seems to be so much chopping and changing now. It seems to be
Yeah.
disrupting the rhythm of the team. But look, it seems it's going to be a real cakewalk this year. I mean, it's going to be a bit of a dogfight to get into this playoff because there's so many teams that are stuck on 8 points now, and RCB need to start winning again. And that's a massive game next one against Mumbai. Mumbai have not been
Yeah.
playing the best. I don't know if they probably want to
Yeah.
fancy their chances on Mumbai side, but
Yeah, man. I will get
team. I
to
mean,
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna get to that one for the last one because that's the last match actually on Sunday. But at the moment, Daredevil, I mean, Delhi Capital, are playing as Rajasthan Royals. The score they're at around 115 for four. With 4.2 overs to go. What score do you think they're gonna reach? And do you still fancy Delhi Capitals to win it?
look, I really fancy teams batting second and chasing scores down in day games. So I think if they
Okay.
can be restricted to about 160, uh, I think 160, 170, I think Rajasthan will fancy their chances of
Really?
chasing the
I would
score down.
think. Really, I think Delhi Capitals wouldn't mind defending it, eh? They have a good bowling attack, and I think they're good enough. I think if they get a 160, 170, I'd be quite impressed because there's not that much overs to go. So, but
Yeah, I
anyway,
mean, I think the one thing in Rajasthan's favor, they have a good batting lineup. The batting seems to be clicking at the moment. So
oh yeah,
uh, I,
yeah,
I'd give them the benefit of trying to chase the score down. And that would
yeah.
really complicate things in the table if Rajasthan were
Okay.
to win this, because they go to 10 points.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think with run rate, they'd probably go to third.
Yeah, yeah. They'll go to third. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, they'd go to
Yeah,
third,
so
which
there's
is quite a
certainly
miracle. Which is quite a
there's
miracle
certainly
if
a
that
little
happened.
here at the moment. It's really nip and tuck. And
Yeah,
you talk about the business end. I mean, this weekend is a business end. The way I see it,
yeah,
there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be making those jumps. And I guess if you don't find your momentum now and you don't start
yeah,
winning games, you're going to be you're going to be hanging sliding away. But the one thing really concerned me yesterday with RCB is that is a sort of consistency that they were so good in the first half,
yeah,
uh, but it seems like it seems to be dwindling away now slightly, and that's a bit of a concern. Whereas a team like CSK, they seem to be, they seem to be on the ball and just getting on with business. And I think that's down to experience. at the moment, and
Yeah.
he has a
Yeah.
lot of experience, and there seems to be a bit of inexperience in this RCB side in certain departments. I think the longer they play together, the better they'll be. But I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's what's lacking.
Yeah. It's okay. The Sunrise against Punjab. This is honestly a match I really don't give a continental about. But since it's there, what are your quick thoughts on it?
Oh, two struggling teams at the moment. Look, I think
Yeah.
Punjab really shot themselves in the foot the other day
Yeah.
by not winning that game. But I think they'll fancy their chances against the Sunrisers side. That's
I'm
really been struggling themselves.
I'm gonna go with Sunrisers. One, because I just don't have much faith in Punjab, and I think Punjab could have that determination of proving people wrong that they're not as pathetic as they are. But I wouldn't mind Sunrisers winning it, even though I do like Punjab more than them, but just wouldn't mind. I'm just so disillusioned with Punjab right now that I just wouldn't mind whoever wins it.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of teams that are not finding their feet at the moment in the second half.
Hmm.
I think there's a lot of teams that are playing below par at the moment, and I think in the next week we'll probably seal some teams' fates, and
Yeah.
it's going to be nip and tuck, as I say. It's sort
Hmm.
of potentially quarterfinal games that we're actually getting into now. I don't know
Hmm.
what to call it quarterfinals, but it seems like quarterfinal games that we're getting into. There's going to be a lot of
Yeah.
quarterfinal games,
Yeah.
so
You might.
be really
Yeah. Okay.
uh,
So
for
yeah.
a fan, it's going to be nerve-wracking. Let's be honest. So I mean, you wouldn't want it any other way, would you?
Yeah, I'm. But then, who you think is going to win it? The Sunrise or Punjab? You think Punjab's going to win it?
Look, it really doesn't have much bearing, but I feel probably. I mean, Punjab are favourites for the game, given Sunrisers' form. But I feel, in a way, Sunrisers would obviously come to the party because, I mean, they really don't have much to lose at the moment, so they can just
Yeah,
go and
they
play
can
their
be like
natural game.
the party poopers of the competition.
Absolutely, they can just go play their natural game. So yeah, it'll be an interesting game, but not much riding on it. So uh,
Yeah,
Punjab are favourites, but yeah, I
yeah.
mean Sunrisers can swing a surprise there. So
Okay, so yeah,
I'd go for Punjab,
okay,
but
so
I just
yeah, yeah, yeah. So tomorrow is the first one, CSK against my team. Two very good captains, Morgan versus Dhoni. I'm gonna go with KKR one because they need to win badly, even though they have won their last two matches, but every win counts, and also boost their net run rate. So yeah, I think let's see if they can give Chennai another kick up the backside. And also, if Chennai lose, it doesn't really affect them. I mean, I think they'll still qualify.
yeah. Look, I think Chennai have done a lot of good work this last week. They've got 4 points from two games. Look, tomorrow is not a do or die for them. So
Hmm.
I'd also go along KKR lines here, and I would think KKR really need to win this game more than CSK.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I I'll back them to get this one over CSK. Although CSK, uh, they might not have uh, a lot of stars in their team, but what they do have is a captain that understands T20 cricket so well,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
they have so much of experience. And I think there's one team.
Hmm.
I don't know if you want to call them a machine, but it seems like they're a team that knows how to win T20 matches. And
Yeah,
there's a lot of change ups in their bowling.
yeah,
You see it all the time. There's a lot of slower balls.
yeah,
Uh, it's difficult to predict what a CSK team is going to do because they
yeah.
are so unpredictable. Uh, I mean,
Hmm.
they can come out all guns blazing, or they can play a smart game and defend a score.
Hmm.
So KKR is playing well. KKR is really playing well. So I think they might just get one over CSK tomorrow.
Hopefully. Okay, so tomorrow is your team against Mumbai Indians. Yeah, man. Two teams that were really okay. Fine, your team was crushing it in the first half, and Mumbai were, just surviving. So, or they weren't they just surviving? They were in the top four, so it's not like. But I think, yeah, whoever wins tomorrow will pretty much start making their way up in the competition. But I still feel your team will qualify. They shouldn't lose against Punjabs, and then they definitely shouldn't lose against Sunrisers. And well, I mean, they should be draws on rows, so they apply themselves. So I think I don't know how you feel about the scenario whereby you left whereby you left Chennai, Daredevils, your team and my team. How is that for a top four? Does that make you feel better?
Makes you feel better. Look, I mean, this is a sort of game, especially when you're struggling. There's a team that you don't want to play is Mumbai. But
our game is on now.
Okay, I'm coming now. I feel that RCB probably have a better chance this year of beating MI back to back, because it seems like MI have been their performances haven't been there, or what you would associate with an MI side. It seems like they need some freshening up. I think they must Pandya really badly in this middle of in the big time. So this is a huge game. This is a huge game, and I just hope RCB can get it done, because if they win this game, it's honestly one foot into the playoffs, and they're probably going to beat either Rajasthan, which I think they'd fancy. Punjab seems to be been a bit of a difficult game in the last couple of seasons for some reason.
Of course. And I think they should be Sunrisers, and they should be able to be Sunrisers, especially on these conditions. I mean, it's not like the conditions are like you would say Chennai, where they're a bit scratchy. These pitches are okay. I think they're fair. So I think I fancy they'll win those two matches. It's just all down to net run rate. I think that's what Kaker has done well, because they played this.
I think net run rate is probably. I think net run rate is probably in RCB's closer at the moment. The net run rate is not good at the moment, and I think they'd be quite fortunate that they're still lying third on the log, even though they've lost 2 games already in the second half. So they can be really, really grateful about that. But it's a difficult fixture to say. I mean, playing CSK and then playing Mumbai, it doesn't come it doesn't come any tougher than this. So it's really going to be a crunch game. I think RCB, if they play to the potential, they can win this game. Definitely, they can play. They can win this game. I think it's about support.
Yeah.
If they can,
normally I would pick Mumbai to win, but actually it's a bit of a 50-50 one. I'll say Mumbai, just play devil's advocate, and you'll pick RCB.
Yeah, because RCB need to win. Well, I mean, both teams need to win, but I feel that looking at both sides at the moment, Mumbai hasn't been the side that they were last season. They've really fallen away quite badly. So.
Yeah, but I think it's good to have a new team winning this year, hopefully.
Absolutely. We always say that, but it doesn't happen. So let's hope this is the year.
It could happen. It could happen. But anyways, I shall let you go, and thanks so much for your time.
Okay, cheers. Chat to you soon.